unfortunately, she may have filed this restraining order. It doesn't change the fact that that baby is the child of Darius Jackson. And no matter how you like to put it, or no matter how much you like to hide it, this is forever going to be on the internet, and that baby will eventually still want to know who the daddy is. Before we continue, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, make sure you share.
You can't just buy me something and I'm going to be thinking you're the greatest guy in the world. I actually want a conversation, want you to have interest in what I do, want you to actually work to get to know me. They act like they don't know what to do because the easiest thing that they've learned that works is to just buy everybody everything. It's just like, I can buy myself everything. I don't need you to buy me anything, love. The things that I need for you is money, what money can't buy.
I made a video concerning Keke Palmer and her relationship a couple weeks ago, whether that was a month ago or 2 months ago, I cannot remember exactly the dates. And it showcased a video where Keke Palmer was showing her booty cheeks to Usher. This stuff is actually deeper than we all thought.
Wow, the lore goes deeper than I thought.
And now it all makes sense. Keke showing herself to Usher and people that are not, and the person that is not her man, it just shows the state of the relationship that they were in, and now we see why. They were never really happy. It was fake all this time. Darius was abusive, but it shows that when somebody is really happy in a relationship, when somebody is really satisfied, there are some things that they will not do. Now, they may do those things behind the scenes, but they will definitely do it in a way that their partner will never get to find out, and in a way that they're in the public, they will never be embarrassed. That whole situation with Usher just shows that from the very beginning, their relationship was broken. And how broken it was, man, we see that it was shattered all over the place. Now, it has come out that Keke is filing a restraining order against Darius. It has also come out that she was entertaining an abusive relationship in a situation whereby it is not healthy for both her and it's not healthy for the baby. This is important, y'all. Somebody is a grown adult. You are responsible for your actions, and you are responsible for things that you let other people do to you. Now I'm going to talk about it from different perspectives. The first one, abuse should never be tolerated. Abuse should never be done. And abuse should never even be expected when it comes to the relationship dynamics between a man and a woman. Now, we can both say that abuse is wrong, but it affects the genders differently. A woman and a man should never be involved in some type of physical violence, but it also goes to say that if a man puts his hands on a woman, it is way treated and looked at differently compared to when a woman puts her hands on a man. And that is the case with this relationship. Darius has done something that, even though we don't know how abusive the relationship was, maybe Keke was abusive as well, we will never know. And even if she was, most people unfortunately will never care about it, because we have video clips that show how abusive Darius was to her, especially now that they have a child. And apparently this was even going on before she got pregnant. So first things first, in an abusive relationship, it can be two-sided. It doesn't mean that they express it in the same way. It can be physical from the man's end and it may be emotional from the woman's end. But it does not mean that it should be tolerated by both parties in whatsoever shape or form. Now that's my first perspective. And I'm happy that she has taken the action that needs to be taken to protect the baby, and unfortunately that baby is brought into this whole thing, and you would never expect this to happen. But now this is where I also have to take into perspective that unfortunately she may have filed this restraining order. It doesn't change the fact that that baby is the child of Darius Jackson, and no matter how you like to put it, or no matter how much you like to hide it, this is forever going to be on the internet, and that baby will eventually still want to know who the daddy is, because that is what is right. Now, this second perspective, y'all need to get prepared for this, because a lot of you may not like where I'm going to go to with this. And check this out.
And I'm down with I'm with it. But when somebody shows me that they're not with it, then they're out. They're out of here. They're out. They're out, Steve. They're out. They're out. They're done. Because the Keke, I don't have time for games.
Okay. Keke is an adult. We are all grown adults. No excuse whatsoever. I still find it sad that a woman, not even a human being, would choose voluntarily to stay in a relationship where abuse is tolerated. Should Darius Jackson get the punishment for his actions? Absolutely. But we must also take into the fact that Keke should also be responsible for herself. You knew this man was abusing you, yet you pretended to the whole world like you were happy and you're one of the happiest women on this planet. Yet you let this man get you pregnant, and now, even though you want to cut him off and you may successfully do it, you have to deal with him for the rest of your life because you people are sharing a baby. If you didn't have a baby with this man, you would have moved on peacefully. The only thing that you have to remember is that you dated him, but that's it. But you have to continuously speak to him on a partnership basis to raise that child. Don't get me wrong, I do feel sad that this abuse stuff even happened, but we have to come to a point in our lives whereby there are men that will not lay a hand on a woman. Why don't you go for those men? Why don't you get into relationships with those men? Is it that hard, or am I missing something? Women, tell me if you listen to this video. Tell me something I do not know, please. I hear that sometimes these patterns don't even show up until way later in the relationship, and it can be a situation whereby the woman is already emotionally attached. But excuse me, there are some people that even though the man has been with them for 5 years and the man cheats once, they will leave. So I don't get it. So please help me out with that. The third point is this. I was talking to a lady some time ago, and she said that, oh, you know, women are blinded by love and affection. They don't want to leave the man. They want to help the man fix himself. And I countered with this point. I understand that you want to love somebody and help them be the better version of themselves. But we must understand one thing. Something is wrong no matter whether it's done by a man or no matter whether it's done by a woman. Now, the consequences will be drastically different, right? There are many men that will not put their hands on a woman. No matter the situation that person finds himself in, he will never do that. There are also some women that will never tolerate abuse, no matter how much they're in love with their partner. There are many people that make decisions like that, sound reasonable decisions like that. The question to ask yourself is, how do I get to that point where I can make that decision for myself and not be blinded? Because all the love that was claimed to have for your partner, all of a sudden is gone now because there's a baby involved. The love just vanishes. This is something that we have to take into perspective. You have to be responsible for yourself and know that whatever you choose to do or whatever you choose to allow people to do to you will only affect you at the end of the day. So, do you want it to be affecting you in a bad way? Or do you want to save yourself the hurt now and cry today or potentially for the rest of your life? Now, if there's anything that you guys want me to discuss, anything at all, make sure you comment it down below. And in the next couple of weeks or in a couple of days, I will talk about it and give my own opinion. And oh yeah, don't forget to subscribe.